everyone, welcome back to Fogel's Watching Movies. This is my May monthly movie haul pickup video. May was my birthday month, so I kind of went a little haywire, I bought, I think I just counted 24 titles, which I think was right around what I got in April. So just when I think I'm gonna slow down, I end up buying the same amount. So I have DVDs, Blu-Rays, and a couple 4Ks. Most of my pickups came from Half Price Books, Group.com, HamiltonBook.com. We got some eBay pickups and some Amazon pickups. And I believe that's it. So we're going to start with the DVDs. I actually bought 6 DVDs this month. Good chunk of Blu-rays after that, and then a couple 4Ks. So we're going to get started with The Others, starring Nicole Kidman. This is one I'd never seen previously, but I actually enjoyed the twist ending of this film. I'm not a big Nicole Kidman, not that I'm not a fan of hers, I just don't watch a lot of her movies. I think she's a great actor. She's very mesmerizing on screen. And this was one where the majority of the movie I was just like, what direction is this going in? But I actually liked how they pulled this movie off. And I understand this is a difficult Blu-ray to find, so I'm going to hold on to this one for now. But that was The Others. Next up is a film called Sunshine, which I understand is like a space horror thriller. I haven't seen it yet, but I think, Chris Evans is in this film. Also, what's his name? Oh, Cillian Murphy's in this. Cillian Murphy. I'm excited to watch this. Possessed by Horror. I'll tag her YouTube channel in the description, but she raves about this movie, and this is one that sounds like I'll enjoy. So that was Sunshine, and then this is actually another recommendation by Possessed by Horror called May, which I don't know a whole lot about. I'm excited to watch it. I think Anna Faris is in this film. But yeah, I'm excited. The description on the back, actually there's a quote from Wes Craven, believe it or not. It says, startling, compelling, and truly original. So I'm excited to check that one out as well. Right along the lines with The Others was Fatal Attraction, which stars Glenn Close, Michael Douglas, and Ann Archer. This is a film I also had never seen, from the 1980s, I believe. Fell in love with it. I mean, this is not the prototypical movie that I would probably watch. It's a sort of like thriller, wow, my words are off today. Thriller romance is what I was trying to say. I'm not even a big Michael Douglas fan. I mean, I saw The Game. I wasn't a huge fan of that one. I haven't seen Glenn Close in a bunch of stuff, but this one was great, and the more research you do on it, they changed the ending, which is a pretty polarizing part of this movie. But yeah, it just tells the story of, people, and there's no CGI, there's no green screen. It's just people acting, and you get great performances from Michael Douglas and Glenn Close in that. Second to last DVD is the original Hitcher, which I just watched on HBO Max not too long ago because I'm a big fan of the remake from the early 2000s. But since I like the remake so much, I watched the original. I enjoyed the original, and I think this is probably a better film for most people. I know Cody Leach thinks it's a very underrated original horror classic. More of a thriller probably, but I enjoyed this, and I think C. Thomas Hall stars in this, along with Rutger Hauer, who plays the hitchhiker. But this is one I know it's hard to find, and I came across it at a good price at my half-price books. So that one's still in its packaging, and I'll eventually watch it again. But yeah. And then last is Little Nicky, starring Adam Sandler, which is, weirdly enough, one of the movies my girlfriend and I quote the most in our house. And then this is just a fun one to throw on in the background. You get what you get with Adam Sandler films. Just silly fun. You're not going to get a I mean, he does good stuff, you know, like Uncut Gems and whatnot, but that's back in the heyday of him doing the sillier films that he participates in. So next up is my Blu-rays, and we have a Scream Factory of The Blob, which I hadn't seen until like last year, I think, and I really liked it. Kevin Dillon in here. The only thing I knew him from was the Entourage television show on HBO, and then Shawnee Smith from the Saw franchise. This was a really good time, great use of practical effects, and I think I owned this in a 4-pack and needed to upgrade it because I enjoyed it that much. So got that off of Hamilton Book, along with a couple other titles. We have Mayhem, starring Stephen Yeun and Samara Weaving. Haven't seen this one yet. It seems like it says a cross between Office Space and The Purge on the back, which I really enjoyed. The Belko Experiment, which is sort of similar to like a battle royale in an office building, and so kind of hoping for the same thing with this one. Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead I enjoyed, and Samara Weaving from that horror flick she did a couple years ago that is escaping me right now, but I enjoy watching her on screen too, so we will eventually check out Mayhem. And then last pickup from Hamilton Book is a film called Feast, which I just watched a couple nights ago. It's a very B-grade, quick to the point horror flick with some very gory and original kills in it. It's just about a group of people in a bar with these creatures that just attack the bar, and it's a fight to survive. So oddly enough, Wes Craven, Matt Damon, and Ben Affleck were executive producers on this film, so that kind of sparked my interest, and just a fun, monster horror flick to throw on if you ever, need that. And then these are a few films I got from V-Stock. Actually, I traded in a pile of movies. We have Zodiac, which everything's horizontal on the back, but starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., and James. Never mind. I thought that was someone else. Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey, two actors I really enjoy. I haven't seen this movie in a while. It was on Netflix for a while. I know it's a really long movie, but obviously directed by David Fincher. I was kind of on a David Fincher kick this month. I rewatched Panic Room from the early 2000s and listened to the Rewatchables podcast on Panic Room, and I think I listened to that podcast the same day I picked this up. So when I went in, I was just like, oh, Zodiac, like, you can't go wrong with Fincher films. So I'm excited to rewatch that one. Then a childhood Disney classic that I'd been on the hunt for, but at the right price, is The Great Mouse Detective. I don't own a bunch of Disney movies, but the ones I do are ones I have fond memories of from growing up, and The Great Mouse Detective was one of them. I remember Ratigan, the villain in this movie, being really creepy, and not one I'll probably watch a ton, but one that I wanted to at least own. So that was The Great Mouse Detective. And then you really can't go any more opposite than a Disney film than to George A. Romero's original zombie classic, Night of the Living Dead, which I've never seen. I've seen bits and pieces, but not on purpose. It's just kind of been on. But this is obviously a classic that I can't wait to sit down and, just indulge for the first time and see what the hype is about. I like watching these original horror classics that people hold to a high standard, and this was one. I was like on the way to the checkout at V-Stock, and there was just a box of movies, and I was just like, oh, let's pick through this real quick. And I actually found this because they were doing a buy two get one free used Blu-ray sale for Memorial Day weekend, so I was happy to get that, and I will eventually check that out. And then a couple films that I bought off eBay at the beginning of the month that have just been on my to buy list and found them for a good price. The first one being Upgrade, starring, I forget his name, but he's Logan Marshall. Logan Marshall Green. This was a fun, action-packed, horror elements, just action flick, and had a lot of fun with this. Loved the concept. Don't remember the storyline too much, but I remember when I did watch it, I loved it. So can't wait to revisit this one, and one I actually think my girlfriend might enjoy too. So next up is a Japanese horror classic that I'd always heard good things about, and that is Battle Royale. One that, you watch Hunger Games and, those other battle to the death kind of Royale movies. And Hunger Games took a lot of inspiration from this. I sat down, watched it. There was some really impressive kills, given how long ago did this movie come out? I don't see the year on it, but I loved it. I enjoyed the characters, and it's just one of those, foreign films that I feel like if you enjoy foreign films, then that's one you need to add to your collection. So, and then the third and last pickup I had off eBay this month was Cabin Fever, an Eli Roth movie that I actually just watched last night. I'd originally seen it on Netflix, and it's just it's an early 2000s, I think 2002, starring Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World, one of my favorite childhood shows. But you get what you get with Eli Roth. He's a body horror type of director. He wrote this story. I love the concept of an infected, corpse just sitting in a small town reservoir, where people drink the water and then they get this infectious disease, and it kind of goes from there. Very memorable deaths and sequences in this movie. And yeah, the one I knew I'd wanted to add to the collection. I know there's a second and third, like Patient Zero, and I can't remember what the second one's called, but haven't seen those two. Maybe I'll eventually watch them one day, but this one too, as I was rewatching it, I was like, the color palette in this movie is gorgeous. I mean, it takes place mostly in the woods, cabin in the woods, and I just love the colors of the leaves and, the time of the year that this was shot. It's a beautiful movie for what it is. So if you haven't seen Cabin Fever, definitely check that one out. And then I was checking out a website called Groupcom, which was recommended by another YouTuber, Movies by Sue, which I'll also tag her YouTube channel in the comment or in the bio. But they were doing a deal I think it was like buy 3 Blu-rays for $24. And then also if it was your first time purchasing, you got a percentage off of your order. So I got 5 films from there, I believe. Yeah, but one of them's a 4K that I'll talk about later. But the first one is another Korean film called Ganium, Haunted Asylum. This is a found footage haunted house, sort of style film. This one is very creepy. Another one that was recommended by Possessed by Horror. I usually find that her horror movie recommendations are along the lines of what I enjoy watching. One being Starry Eyes, which I really enjoyed from, I think 2014 that one came out. But Haunted Asylum, very creepy. It's about these people who go to debunk these haunted buildings, and they go in all cocky that they're gonna prove this haunted asylum wrong, and it doesn't turn out the best for them. So when did I watch this one on? I think this was streaming on like Amazon Prime, maybe Hulu. Really enjoyed this one, and when I checked out Group.com, I was happy to find it, so I got that one for a good price. And then the next 3 are actually the ones I did for the buy 3 for $24. So the first one is a Martin Scorsese film that I have not seen yet called Cape Fear, starring Robert De Niro and Nick Nolte. Don't know much about this one, but can't go wrong with Martin Scorsese or the 2 lead actors in this. One that I will eventually check out. Can't say too much about it, but I'm excited. Next is, unfortunately, a film I have never seen, and I regret saying that, but I think we all have those classic movies that, most people would regard as must-watches that we just haven't seen yet, and that is Schindler's List, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Liam Neeson. This is one I'd known I wanted for a long time and found it. Will eventually sit down and watch it. I need to be in the right headspace to watch a sort of a heavy hitter film like this. But I did rewatch the original Jurassic Park this month, and watching behind the scenes with Steven Spielberg. He was directing Jurassic Park and Schindler's List at the same time, which is just insane. I mean, he's obviously a Mount Rushmore director for a lot of people, and movies like Schindler's List are a reason for that. Much like Shawshank Redemption and the Green Mile, two films I'd never seen for the longest time. Finally checked both out, loved them. I feel like Schindler's List is going to fall along the lines with those two. And then the third film in the buy three for $24 is An American Werewolf in London, which I did watch. I'd never seen it previously to buying this, but obviously you hear this movie has the best werewolf transformation. And while it is a good werewolf transformation, I still think Van Helsing's my favorite, which is a very I'm on the hill on that one. But this was a great movie. I mean, it was, for its time, it's still very creepy. It's a comedic horror, so you get your laughs in there, but also people are getting murdered by this werewolf, and torn to shreds by him, and I think the scenes where you do get with the werewolf are fun, and I really enjoyed the two lead actors in this, and then the woman in this, which I'm trying to find her name. Is it Jenny Agutter? Yeah, I think that's it. I enjoyed her a lot in this film. She played the nurse. But yeah, one definitely to check out. It's a classic. Tough to replicate classic horror creatures like werewolves, but this one does it well. So then we have the only Amazon order I did for this month. But the reason, actually I'll switch it up. The reason I did an Amazon order was because they had Armageddon on sale for like $5.99, and I've never seen this, but it seems like the type of film I'm gonna love. For nothing but great things. Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck star in it. It's a Michael Bay film, so I mean you're gonna get crazy action sequences in this. Another one I haven't seen, but once I finish this horror kick that I'm on right now with movies, as you see Roman back there, my dog, I will watch this. So excited to finally check that one out. And then, skip that one again, but we have Dazed and Confused, which I watched for the first time the last month, I think in April. Another classic. I've seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is kind of in the same vein, and I really enjoyed that one. But obviously you get the classic lines in this one from Matthew McConaughey, which really put him on the map as an actor. This is just a fun movie to kind of sit back and turn your brain off and have a laugh, One I put off for too long, but yeah, I really enjoyed the characters in this all around. And kind of rewatching, I just binged season 4 of Stranger Things, one of my favorite television shows. You kind of get an inspiration from there with the new character in season 4 of Stranger Things, Argyle. So that was Dazed and Confused. And then lastly from my Amazon order is it James Gunn? Yeah, I believe it's James Gunn. Malignant, directed by James Gunn. Yep. Or James Wan, not James Gunn. That was same first name. But yeah, Malignant was fun. Which one was this streaming on? Was it HBO Max when it originally came out? We kind of saw I watched this with my girlfriend and her friend, and we kind of saw the plot twist at the end a little early, but still a fun time. I know this was a polarizing film for a lot of people, one that I want to rewatch and had a lot of fun with. So that's Malignant, as I'm sure most people have seen that one by now. And then lastly from my Groove order earlier, this was one that got knocked down to I think like $6.99 because of the percentage off I got for my first order, and that is Halloween Kills on 4K. My computer just went to sleep, so I have to refresh it. Okay. Michael Myers' Halloween is my favorite horror franchise of all time. The original Halloween from 1978 is top 5 film for me. I didn't love Halloween Kills as much as I enjoyed the 2018 remake. What I do like about this film is obviously the kills in it. You know, you do get very creative and, you know, very gory and interesting kills from Michael. I think Michael Myers in this, played by, is it James Jude Courtney? I think he does a great job. And yeah, there's just, I didn't love the ending of Halloween Kills. I didn't like the chase, like, you know, chasing the escaped mental patient who everyone thought was Michael Myers, but clearly they look nothing alike. I thought that part was, you know, kind of silly, but we'll see what they do with Halloween Ends. I mean, I love the Halloween franchise in general. I own all of them except for Resurrection, which for good reason. But Halloween Kills, I mean, it's one that I can watch again. It wasn't bad to the point where I'll never watch that movie again. And then lastly, from my Half Price Books haul is the new Scream film, which, you know, they could have named it something different. You know, as you see, they had to put that all new movie sticker on there just to, you know, tell people that, no, this isn't the original Wes Craven Scream. But my girlfriend's favorite horror franchise is Scream, favorite killer's Ghostface. So this is one, I can't believe we haven't seen it by now. We kind of just have conflicting work schedules, so when we do sit down to watch something, we just may not be in the mood or have the energy to watch this, but we'll eventually watch this. Obviously, you get the old cast in here with Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, and yeah, looking forward to it. Much like Halloween, her and I have a lot of fun with all those horror franchises. So yeah, that was 24 titles that I picked up this month. And as this channel is becoming just a monthly movie haul pickup until I figure out other things to post. But until then, please like the video, comment if you've seen any of these movies, if you like any of them, if I maybe opened your eyes to something new. And yeah, subscribe if you want, you know. Everyone's welcome here. So I appreciate you all checking out this month's video, and I hope you have a good day. Peace.